my beautiful reader friends. It's Tiffany with an IE, as you can see. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be doing my January 2021 wrap-up, and it's a lot. I read 27 books this month, so let's just get into this because it might take a while. So all of these books except one, I gave 5 stars. The only book that wasn't 5 stars, it was a 4 stars, and I'll explain why. But basically, I had a pretty good reading month. So the first book I read is over here. It's Rebel of the Sands by Aldon Hamilton. This is part of my unwrapping my TBR vlog, which I still need to finish and put up, but hopefully soon, because I just have one more book left on that, and then I can edit and post my video. But I really love this. This came out back in 2016, I think, like the day after my birthday, and it has such a pretty cover, and I've been wanting to read it for like forever. And when the paperback came out, they changed the cover so it has a person on the cover, which I don't really like, and then the rest of the series, because it's a trilogy, they also followed that sort of aesthetic for the covers. And so I bought the other 2 books from Book Depository because they have the UK covers match this sort of really pretty pattern, even though they're in paperback. And since I enjoyed this one so much, definitely want to continue on to the rest of the series. The second book I read is a picture book. Most of these are actually picture books because I started my tutoring job again last month, but this month it's been amping up and I have more students, and one of them is really young, so I read her picture books. So that's why I've read a lot of picture books this month. So this next one is a picture book. It is How the Crayons Saved the Rainbow, and it's just really cute. Like the sun and the clouds like kind of get into a fight, and then the crayons, all the color leeches from the world except for this one box of forgotten crayons, and they draw rainbows everywhere to try to have the sun and clouds reconcile again. And they do, and then rainbows and color come back to the world, and it's super cute, so I loved it. So if I didn't say, this was 5 stars, this picture book was 5 stars, and then the next picture book, which is also 5 stars, was Leo, A Ghost Story. This is by Mac Barnett, and he's really awesome in the picture book world. So it kind of reminded me a bit of like Casper the Friendly Ghost, because Leo was a friendly ghost, but he lived in this house forever, and then a new family moves in and he tries to be welcoming, but they're like all scared of him and he's unwanted, so he wanders around trying to find a new place to live. And yeah, it's really cute. The next 2 are part of like a picture book trilogy by Mac Barnett and John Klassen called the Shapes Trilogy. So the first one is Triangle, which I read like a few years ago, and I mean, like, I gave that one 5 stars. It was really fun. But I read the next 2 in this series this month, so Square and Circle, and gave them both 5 stars. They were really fun. And then after that, I read the novella sequel to Silver in the Wood by Emily Tesh. It is called Drowned Country, and I liked it, although like I liked the first one a lot more, but this one was kind of confusing because I'm like, I thought there was like happy lovey-dovey stuff at the end of the first book, and what happened at the beginning of this one? So it was kind of confusing at first. But yeah, 5 stars. It's quite short. Highly recommend. There's LGBTQ rep, so it's awesome. And then the next book is a picture book. It is this one, From Head to Toe by Eric Carle, and it's just like really short and sweet, just like different animals, and yeah, so that was 5 stars. Then I reread this one from childhood, Stone Soup. I remember like loving this when I was a kid. It's just so clever. 5 stars obviously, but these 3 soldiers, they come to this town where like all the villagers are really selfish and they hide all their food and stuff, and they tell the soldiers like, oh, we don't have any food to give you and we don't have any like place for you to sleep. And then the soldiers are like, okay, we'll make some stone soup then. And then it's a very clever way of getting the villagers to share, because they're like, oh yeah, like this stone soup, it's great on its own, but it'd be really nice if there were some carrots and some cabbage. So yeah, so the villagers who are like really intrigued, they're like, oh, I might have some carrots at my house, or like maybe I can find 1 or 2 heads of cabbage. And then so they stop hoarding and they all share, and it's really great. So yeah, and then they let them sleep in their houses and stuff. So yeah, really love this. The next picture book is this one. Is called Big Fat Hen, and it's just like it's just a rhyming picture book. It's just like 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, that kind of thing. But yeah, so give 5 stars. The next one is Pete the Cat. I love my white shoes, and this was just like really cute. My mom also has a Pete the Cat stuffed animal, and she has 3 copies of this book. It was really funny when we discovered that. She's a preschool teacher, so a lot of these picture books I borrowed from her. Yeah, so there's all of these. Yeah, so this was really fun. And then the next book was, so that was 5 stars. Next book is Prophecy, which I kind of gave more of a 4.5 stars, but you know, Goodreads doesn't do half stars, so it's a 5 on Goodreads. I talk more about this in my vlog, my Unwrapping My TBR vlog, so yeah, so check that out after when I eventually get around to posting that. But yeah, I did really enjoy this, and I have the other 2 books by her, so I am looking forward to finishing the rest of the series. And then, oh, I need to go get this one. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had forgotten to grab this one. So this is the next picture book I read this month. It's called Eyes That Kiss in the Corners, and this is a debut picture book, and it actually hit like #1 on the New York Times bestseller list for the picture book category, and I'm so happy that it did, because I wish I had this when I was a kid. And it's just about this Asian girl who, well, technically Chinese girl, but she learns to like love herself and how she looks, because she does recognize that her eyes look different than her classmates. And it's just like really adorable, and I love the illustrations. And there's even I got like some Mulan vibes from this book. And it's funny because there's this one page, this page, where you see Mulan on her horse, and it's just so funny. But yeah, so this was such a gorgeous book. The lyrical way it's told, it's like, I have eyes that kiss in the corners and that glow like warm tea and crinkle into crescent moons, and it's just really, really beautiful. So super, like, highly recommend, 5 stars. Love this so much. The next book is actually a short story. It's called One Day More by Lynn Pike, and this is like the prequel short story to her book called Life After Theft, which I read years ago, and this is one of her standalone books because she writes, I have all her other like books that are series. But yeah, this is kind of like a reverse like Scarlet Pimpernel story, where the main character, well, in the short story, it's the main character, Kimberly, she's like kind of like a mean girl at school, and she's also a kleptomaniac, and then she dies one day. So yeah, and then later on in the novel Life After Theft, we're following this new kid at school named Jeff, and he's the only one who's able to see Kimberly's ghost, and he doesn't believe her that she's a ghost at first, but she's like, I've been here for over a year and you're the only one who's been able to see me. And she's like, I need you to help me give back all the stuff that I stole. And she like literally has this cave of stuff, and it's quite interesting. But yeah, I definitely liked Kimberly's perspective in the short story more. Like you're able to, I guess, like sympathize with her more, empathize with kind of like her situation, because it's not really explained much about how she became a kleptomaniac, and it was like kind of like family stuff. So yeah, and then also just like Jeff, he's kind of bland. So yeah, I didn't enjoy his perspective as much, even though I did enjoy the novel. But yeah, I really like the short story. I felt like this is what I've been missing. Like I liked it so much more. So 5 stars. The next thing I read this month was The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. I talk more about this in my vlog that I put up last weekend, I think. It was one of my most anticipated books last year besides Sky Hunter, and definitely like 5 million stars. Loved it so much. It was just so beautiful, and yeah, just everyone please read it. It's just such a great book. So yeah. And then the next book I read, it's a relatively short one. It's called Who Moved My Cheese, and shout out to my friend Alina for introducing this book to me. It was just like so eye-opening and so like interesting. It's kind of like an allegory that like, yeah, that you could apply to real life and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's mostly, well, I thought it was nonfiction, but like, I mean, the story isn't really nonfiction. But yeah, just read it. It's like 50 something pages. So yeah. And then the next book I read with one of the other students I tutor is Miss Daisy is Crazy. It is an early chapter book, and it was pretty funny in like a lot of just like word play and everything. So yeah, and now I'm reading the rest of the series with my students, so you might see more of these books pop up in future wrap-ups. So yeah, the next book I read was that was 5 stars. And Who Moved My Cheese was 4 stars, so that's the only one that I didn't give 5 stars to. And the reason being is that there were a lot of typos, so it was distracting. And then like the formatting of the words were kind of like in the wrong area and stuff. So yeah, but I'm not sure if that's just because of the PDF version. Maybe it's better in the print version. But yeah, so 4 stars for Who Moved My Cheese, 5 stars for Miss Daisy is Crazy, and 5 stars for The Emperor's New Clothes. I've also read the picture book called The Principal's New Clothes. It's basically very similar, but basically these con men come to town and they pretend to be tailors, and they make they pretend to make like these wonderful clothes for the emperor, who is very vain and likes beautiful clothing. But yeah, and then it's not till the end that like when he's parading around basically naked that a child says like, hey, the emperor's naked. And yeah, so this is actually by like the original tale is by Hans Christian Andersen, which I didn't know. But yeah, this is just a retelling, and this version is really cool because it has all these like little kind of pop-up flaps that you can lift up and see different things. So yeah, it's really cool. 5 stars. And then the next book, I reread this because I read this when I was a kid. Love it. It's Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. It's a classic. So yeah, I mean, just all the wacky Dr. Seuss stuff. 5 stars. The next book I read, I also featured this in my Unwrapping My TBR vlog. It is, oh, and Rebel of the Sands was also in that vlog. It is Made for You by Melissa Marr. I gave this 4.5 stars, but 5 stars on Goodreads. This book is so like chilling and messed up. Yeah, so go watch my vlog to find out more about this book. But yeah, it's pretty messed up. So the next book I read was The Three Billy Goats Gruff, and this was just fun. I've read this story before, but this is just a retelling of it. 5 stars. The next book I read was the 8th book in the Dork Diaries series, called Once Upon a Dork. It's also called Tales from a Not So Happily Ever After, and I guess this would count as a graphic novel, but I read this with another one of my students because she really enjoys them, and I didn't realize how fun they would be, because it's pitched as like kind of the kind of like Diary of a Wimpy Kid but for girls, and I did not enjoy Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but Dork Diaries is really fun. It's there's like a lot of funny things in there, a lot of sass, and like I was on the edge of my seat like near the end of this book when it was like reaching the climax and stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend. I want to read the rest of the series now, so yeah, 5 stars. And then I read this cute little picture book called Ella, the Elegant Elephant, and I love elephants. Yeah, so super cute. But yeah, she wears this hat, which is her grandmother's like good luck hat, and everyone's like mean to her because of the hat, but then she ends up saving someone because the hat kind of like turns into a parachute. It's really cute. Yeah, 5 stars. I loved this picture book so much. And then the last picture book that I read this month was this one I found from a little free library near me, and I'm actually going to be doing a vlog where I go around town and go to as many little free libraries as I can. So yeah, but this is Marshmallow, and it's about this bunny named Marshmallow, and it's so funny because my friend Howell has a bunny named Marshmallow, except this one's male. The one that he has is female, and she also has some like brown spots on her, so she looks kind of like a toasted marshmallow. But yeah, it was really cute, and this cat, this tomcat and this bunny become friends basically, and it was a Caldecott honor back in the day. So yeah, 5 stars because it's really cute. Yeah, and then my last 4 books, I finally finished Just Mercy, which I gave 5 stars. It was such a difficult read because of the topics and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I got so angry reading this book. I've been reading this since July, so I am glad that I finally finished it. And then I read The Girl in the Tower by Katherine Arden. I'm behind on the Winter Night read-along that Meg with Books was hosting. But yeah, read this and listened to the audiobook while reading it. Really loved it. Yeah, the first one was great. This one was great. So yeah, also 5 stars. Yeah, 5 stars, 5 stars. And then the next book I read was Empress of a Thousand Skies by Rhoda Baeza. I've been pronouncing her last name wrong. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize, kind of like when I first found out that Isabel Allende's last name was Allende and not Allende. But yeah, so I was listening to the audiobook and they pronounced it Baeza. And then I also looked up like interviews of like her saying her name on YouTube, and she also pronounces it Baeza. So yeah, I'm very sorry, Rhoda. But yeah, I've met her. She's really sweet. This is the first book in a duology. It's a sci-fi fantasy. It's kind of like an Anastasia retelling, except the characters aren't named like Anastasia or anything. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would like to read the second book, but she doesn't have any other books besides these two, so I hope she writes more books in general, because I do like her writing style. And the font was pretty big, so I was grateful for that. Yeah, so 5 stars. And then my last book was The Color Purple by Alice Walker, and this was told in epistolary format, so like letters and stuff. Some of the letters were really long, but yeah, I mean, I love the cover. This is the UK edition that I bought from Book Depository, and this is also a UK edition. But I found this at my local book off. I bought the other 2 in the series from Book Depository so that they could match. Yeah, so this was also 5 stars. It took me a while to get through because also heavy topic like as well, and I felt so angry as well, but not as long as it took me to read Just Mercy, because I did start and finish this within the month. Yeah, so that's it for these books. So I just wanted to mention that these 3 books, if you've watched my TBR game video that I put up yesterday, these 3 were part of my TBR game for this month's TBR that I had to read. The other book that I didn't get to finish was A Creature of Moonlight, but I did get a little bit of the way in the beginning, so I am enjoying it so far. So I'm just gonna finish it this month, and then I have a bunch of books for this month's TBR game to finish as well. So yeah, that's a lot of books. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat chaotic video, and I'll see you next time. So bye.